as you are watching this video, I'm actually in a rehearsal for Leonard Bernstein's Mass. However, in honor of yet another Hell Week, I am making Tales of Hell Week 3. Now, if you're new to this channel, Tales of Hell Week is a video made up of stories that are sent in to me about crazy things that happened during Hell Week. Most of the submissions for these videos actually come from one of my Tumblr blogs, which is called Theater Commandments, which just hit 2,000 followers, what up? There'll be a link in the description bar below to that blog, which you should go check out. And without any further ado, let go. So I'm gonna start this video off with a Hell Week story of my own. And this happened actually very recently. Over the summer, I was in a show called Summer Serenade, and it was just kind of a review with random Broadway songs and a couple of like non-Broadway songs, and it was a lot of fun to do. But at one point in the show, I had a block of like 3 songs back to back to back, and it was Anything You Can Do, Tonight from West Side Story, and the song that goes like this from Spamalot, and the cast actually liked to watch those songs. So one night we're in dress rehearsal, and I walk my way into the wings about to take position. I see about 9 cast members just sitting on the floor in the wings looking at the stage. It kind of looked like a group of kindergartners sitting on the carpet for story time, and this is something they just did every night from that point on. They would all gather up, sit on the floor, and then just watch those numbers. And the only problem with this is that if you do stage shows, you know this. When you spend a long time on the stage with the lights hitting you and they're so bright, the second you step into the wings, you can't see a damn thing, because you go from super bright lights being right in your face to darkness. So after the song that goes like this, after that long block of songs, I would walk back into the wings and I wouldn't be able to see jack shit, but there's still like 10 people sitting right there. So I would just have to be aware of that and be like, okay, let's not step on the choreographer. Alright, so that's my story. Now let's get into the stories that you guys sent in. Dracula, my sophomore year, was a particularly bad Hell Week. Not only did our lead get caught talking to another cast member with a hot mic, quote, damn fuck, that was shit, but one night I had to stay until 2 a.m. to say one line, all because one person in the entire cast still didn't know his lines on Wednesday. 2 actors decided to help out by building a window that needed to be hung fairly high up. So there I was on the scaffolding, and what do you know, the actors built the window with nails instead of screws, and there were pieces of wood with nails in them falling to the stage. We had to rebuild all 4 of the windows and then hang them up again in just 2 hours. They never helped again. My sophomore year of high school, we did Titanic as our spring musical. We were excited and it was coming together beautifully until our musical director snapped and said we were singing everything wrong. She changed the key for many songs, the tempo for my solo, and completely changed everything we had learned. This was 3 days before opening night. So basically there's this closet in the back of my school's theater, and it locks and it takes like 15 minutes to get out. Anyway, so I went in the closet by mistake and I accidentally got locked in there and missed my cue. One particular night during Hell Week, me and a few other cast members as well as our director stayed up until 5 in the morning finishing the set with school the next day. We were painting and burning styrofoam into a mold that would look like cobblestone. Well, we got high off the paint fumes and burning styrofoam, and someone thought it would be fun to order pizza. So then we had a pizza throwing contest and we had to clean off the set the next day. Well, that was an adventure from start to finish. During the dress rehearsal for Peter Pan, a girl was flown into the fireplace, knocking it and the toy soldiers over. Later, she got flown into a tree. As a general rule, don't fling actors into the set. During my school troupe's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, one of the students playing a main character got really sick, but because of school rules, he couldn't miss school and just show up for rehearsals. So we had just gotten finished with a run of Act 1, and we were moving into Act 2 when I saw a large motionless object on the floor. Apparently, before his last scene in the previous act, the guy had passed out and was now asleep in the middle of the stage. We were doing Legally Blonde my freshman year, and I was on run crew. I was hanging out in the wings, and our Warner was about to go on. So he rushes by me to hear his line, stops, turns to me and says, I'm sorry, this is going to be so gross, grabs my hand and spits his gum into my hand. He then runs on stage as I'm processing what happened. Needless to say, I died internally. The guy who played the dad and a few extras in our community theater production of the best Christmas pageant ever got in a car wreck the day before opening night. Luckily, he was alright and was able to perform the show the next day, but I have never been that stressed before in my entire life. Trying to teach somebody else someone's lines, blocking, and quick change in the span of 3 hours in the middle of the night? Not the greatest thing for your health. You know what's also really not good for your health? Car accidents. Again, as a general rule, just try not to do that. Last year in a play called The Walls by Lisa Dillman, I had to give a box of chocolate to my basically vegetable wife. My character was basically one terrible decision after another. Lobotomy, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. I couldn't get the box cover off, partly because I was stricken with grief, but this time the box was just being a dick. When I finally did, chocolate bits went flying everywhere and there was literally 1 chocolate left. This was an open dress to my entire department at college. And that concludes the stories. Thank you guys so much for submitting stories, because without you, these videos literally are not possible. Subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, follow Theater Commandments, and I'll see you all next Friday.